Goblin launch detected.
This video is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc. If you're looking for cards in the US, look no further as you can use the promo code MTGMudsta to get you 5% off anything on the site. You can also use the promo code MTGMudsta for 5% off your orders from Face-to-Face Games, Canada's largest Magic the Gathering store, with qualified orders getting free shipping Canada-wide. And if you just want to help out the channel, you can always consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month and join the generic Goblin Gang. Hey gang, and welcome back. Today's game was live streamed back a few weeks ago, and we managed to film at the same time. We have Felix playing his Kamiz deck, Maxim playing Kitt Kanto, I'm playing Mistform Ultimus, and Marie is playing Ziatora. As this game was streamed, we didn't record our opening hands, but we get straight into the game, and it's a lot of fun. Maxim wins the die roll, and he starts us off, drawing and playing a Plains. He casts a Shadow Spear and passes. I play a Tap Path of Ancestry, passing. Marie plays a Forest and passes. Felix draws and plays an Island. He then passes as well. Maxim draws, plays an Exotic Orchard, and casts Sylvan Library. I play an Island and cast Arcane Signet. I then tap the Signet to pay for a multi-class Baldric and pass turn. Marie draws and plays a Swamp. She's a Rakdos Signet in her main phase and passes turn. Felix draws, plays a Reliquary Tower, and ships it to Maxim. Maxim uses his Library trigger on his upkeep, drawing 3, and pays 4 life to keep an extra 1, putting 1 back. He then plays a Mountain and casts a Felwar Stone, and then taps enough for a Quest for Renewal. After that, he passes turn. I draw and play an Island. I cast Diviner's Wand and pass to Marie. Marie has a Crag Crown Pathway and then plays out a Quicksilver Amulet. She then ships the turn. Felix plays a Rogue's Passage for turn and casts a Prosperous Thief and passes. Maxim uses his library but pays no extra life to keep no extra cards, drawing only 1 per turn. He then plays a Cinder Glade and casts Kitt Kanto, making a citizen with her as she enters. I draw and play an Island. I cast Mistform Ultimus, scrying 1 from using the path, and have it go to the bottom. As my commander comes in, the Diviner's Wand equips for free, and after that, I pass to Marie. Marie draws but has no lands for turn, and boldly activates a Quicksilver Amulet to cheat in an Ancient Copper Dragon. With nothing else though, she passes turn. Felix draws and plays a Currency Converter. He moves to combat, and Maxim uses Kitt Kanto's ability to goad and pump the Prosperous Thief, and puts 2 counters on the Quest for Renewal. Felix swings the Thief at Marie for 5, and makes a treasure as it connects. In his post-combat main phase, he activates the Currency Converter, drawing and discarding a card, and after that, passes turn. Maxim draws and plays Jared Carthelian, making me the Monarch. He then taps Jared and the Citizen to goad his own Kitt Kanto, and goes to combat. He swings her at Felix, dealing 5. This gets the final counter on Quest for Renewal, and after that, he passes. I untap, and Maxim untaps his creatures with mine, and Mistform gets a +1/+1 from the Diviner's Wand as I draw for turn. I then equip the multi-class Baldric to Mistform. As I move to combat, Maxim goads Mistform, and I decide to go at Marie, dealing 6 and gaining 6. I then pass turn, drawing at the end of turn from being the Monarch. She then activates the Quicksilver Amulet, putting out Xenagos before moving to combat. She puts her trigger for Xenagos onto the Ancient Copper Dragon, and Maxim responds by tapping Kitt Kanto and a creature to goad it. It gets +2/+2, becoming an 8/8, and then its power and toughness are doubled, becoming a 16/16. And Marie then moves to combat, repaying me in kind with 16 damage in the air, and rolls a d20 after she connects. She hits a natural 20, making 20 treasure tokens. She then continues to go for broke by dropping a Revel in Riches and daring the table to answer it, passing turn. Felix draws and goes to combat, with Maxim once more goading the Prosperous Thief. This has Felix swinging it at Marie for 5 and making a treasure. He then plays an Aerial Extortionist, and as it enters, removes the Revel in Riches for a turn. After that, he passes, drawing from being the Monarch. Maxim draws and equips the Shadow Spear to Kitt Kanto, and moves to combat, and then goads her, swinging her at Marie to deal 6 and gain 6. After that, Maxim passes. I draw, and the Mistform gains +1/+1 from the Diviner's Wand. I then cast a Gilded Lotus and go to combat. As I move to combat, Maxim gets a Kitt Kanto trigger and goads Mistform once more. I swing at Marie again, dealing 6 and gaining 6, and once that's done, pass turn. Marie draws for turn, and once more that Quicksilver Amulet's doing work, as she pays 4 mana to cheat out an old Gnawbone. She then casts a Doubling Season, and a Mr. Orfeo, and then goes to combat. Marie targets the Ancient Copper Dragon once more with Xenagos, and once more, Maxim uses Kitt Kanto to goad it. The Xenagos trigger then resolves, and she swings the dragon and Xenagos at me, with Mr. Orfeo doubling the dragon's power, and I just die. She then gets 64 treasures from Old Gnawbone and Doubling Season, and rolls yet another natural 20, going up to 116 treasures. She then casts Ziatora with 6 of those treasures, and follows up with an Ancient Bronze Dragon. And if that wasn't enough treasures, drops a Pitiless Plunderer, and follows up by recasting that Revel in Riches. She announces she'll move to her end step, and Maxim casts Beast Within, targeting the Ancient Copper Dragon. On her end step, Marie then sacrifices a Beast token to make 6 treasures with Ziatora and fling it at the Aerial Extortionist before passing. Felix draws and plays a Plains. Going to combat, he swings the Prosperous Thief at Maxim for 3 and makes a treasure token. After combat, he then puts the Nightfell Spectre that had been sitting under the currency converter into his graveyard to make a 2/2 rogue and passes to Maxim. Maxim draws and plays an Ash Barrens as his land for turn. He then plays an Eternal Witness, getting back Beast Within, and uses it on Revel in Riches. Felix responds by using Cyclonic Rift and targets the Doubling Season as well, so she only gets 1 Beast token this time. With nothing else, Maxim passes. Marie draws and plays a Forest. She recasts Doubling Season and goes to combat, putting the Xenagos trigger onto Old Gnawbone, and Maxim goads in response. The triggers then resolve, and she swings Old Gnawbone at Felix, getting to double its power with Mr. Orfeo, and Felix gets taken out. Marie then moves to her end step, and knowing that he's dead to a Ziatora fling, Max scoops it up. Game review time! So considering that Marie kept an opening hand with 3 lands and a mana rock, she seemed to really ramp ahead somehow. I love these Ancient Dragons, I think they're so cool, I love all the randomness of them, and the potential to just go crazy with it, as we saw in this game. Hitting 2 natural d20s is frankly insane, and it wasn't like she was even rolling the same die. It would have been sweet for her to win with Revel in Riches, but it was even sweeter with her blasting people in the face with giant dragons from Ziatora. Felix unfortunately didn't get very far off the ground. By the time that he had his only creature out for Kamiz to be able to connive onto, people were already pretty far ahead. He was getting some incremental value, but he also seemed to be falling far behind in lands and mana rocks. I've never actually seen a currency converter in play, so it was kind of cool to see what it does. Maxim continues to exemplify why Goad is so frustrating and yet so much fun, and Kitt Kanto with Quest for Renewal basically means that at least one of your creatures per combat per other player is never going at him. I found it particularly spicy the fact that he was able to use Goad on his own creature to give Kitt Kanto +2/+2 and Trample, and I thought that was a particularly sweet line of play. I've only ever played it this one game, but that multi-class Baldric seems like it's going to be an MVP in my deck. Even if I never have the second part of the mode active, which frankly in this deck is probably not that hard to do, the fact that I'm able to give keyword soup to Mistform for very low cost is just exceptionally good. Plus it's got lifelink, which is one of the things that I find the deck, especially this one because it's so combat based, is lacking. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, Cool Stuff Inc., Multizone, Original Magic Art, and Alter Sleeves. But it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.